Hello, mate. Look, really busy day in the boardroom. It's been a mental summer. Look, there's been a lot happening. I'm too busy to go through it all. Basically, I've recouped 46 million. I've spent 96. You've got 13 new players. This should get us further up the league. No issues about relegation this year. Just get it done, man.
Dude, it's been a wild transfer window. I don't know what happened to Greeno. Maybe he's hanging out with Brian too much. No clue. But the man worked magic in the offseason. Players went out. Players came in. My credit cards are maxed out. It's insane. And best of all, Dennis Zakaria. I mean, I had to pull some strings, had to make a few phone calls, but we finally have a landmark player back at Man Central. The Swiss international player himself. So look, you now have a linchpin of a player in the midfield. You've got some significant upgrades in defense. Staying in the league should now be beyond any doubt. Moving up the table, however, is in your hands. And I'm trusting you to keep us in the Premier League and moving up that table. It's all about the Premier League money, Bood. Honestly, build on what Greeno's done for us. Again, Bood, you've done a great job last year. Trusting you for another season. Keep it up, buddy.
Well then, that was an interesting message of my director of football and the owner, Mr. Peter himself. Wow, I mean, sounds quite cool. I'm excited to get down to the Bellevue training complex. And to be fair to Greeno, he has emailed me and given me the transfers in a bit more detail. And there is some good news and some bad news if you're a Patreon player, because he's sold a few of you. And he's bought 2 of you. So I was well happy with that, I can't lie. But yeah, episode 15 of We Are Central with the Mighty Bees. I think we get stuck straight into it. Now the season's just about to start at this point, and Greeno hadn't finished his transfer, so we're going to jump forward a little bit more in a second. But it's not going to change our odds much. We are just not fancied at all. At all. And we still have one of the lowest wage budgets in the league. But he did make some moves. Like, a lot of moves, really. But is it going to be enough? Honestly, I had no idea. And I had no idea how I was going to play. And at the start of the season, I was messing around too much. I never mess about. I don't think it works messing about. So we'll check that out in a minute. Now, as you know by now, I just holiday through the summer, get to the start of the season. Obviously, I start the season and other transfers can happen, and that always happens. And that will happen this season. But I like to go away, I like to come back and not have a clue and just see. And I leave everything up to Joe Page. He organises the pre-season games. As you know. I know you know. And he's the manager of them. And it looks like he went on a tour of Germany. And then we came home, we had a game against a French team and an Italian team. Nice mixture of results. You might have seen a name or two there. Because yeah, Greeno, I swear down, was mega busy. So we now have the second lowest weekly wage budget. It's gone up, it's 1.2 million. Stoke have got a lower one than us, just. But look at that, we ain't never getting anywhere near here. I don't know if we ever will, if I don't take over, but I can't. It's up to him himself at the top there with a beautiful haircut, Mr. Christian Peter, and he loves Greeno, and he wants a director of football. But I'm going to give it my best shot, and I do enjoy it. It is so weird, someone who doesn't play like this, to come back and go, right, what's happened? Well, this is what's happened. Now, some of the deals happened before the season crossover. So you'll notice here, players have left. Some guys who've been we got a couple of years ago. They've been down in the reserves, some have been out on loan. So, he recouped a bit of money here. And he spent some money. He bought me a goalkeeper, we'll have a look at him in a minute. Which is pretty cool. Defenders. Lots and lots of defenders, and I think he loves the name Ferguson. But who don't love the name Ferguson? I love it. I'm a United fan. Anyway, this is the carry-over bit. So he just went mad. He signed loads of defenders. Now we have signed a player from West Ham, a Swiss player, as CP said. And I do wonder, would we have signed him if we didn't have CP, who is from Switzerland, and a Swiss scout? But that's quite cool. I'm sure he'll love that in real life. But we've signed 2 Patreon players, which is great. But also we got rid of some. So he sold Matt Dunster. Went to Hamburg for not a lot of money. He sold Craig, my goalkeeper, which in real life he moaned about because he's only 5'7". I didn't think he'd sell him. I was hoping he'd bring one in. He did. And then I think there's someone else. Oh, Ben Dollery. Ben Dallaby didn't renew his contract. He's been picked up by Luton. I think that's it for Patreon players going out. Now, Ken, I quite like Ken. He scored a lot of goals for us. But he had a minimum fee, and Leverkusen matched his minimum fee. Got some good prices for these fellas, which I'm fairly happy with. But should we look at the new squad? We're going to go through it quickly. Now, we've got a backup keeper who's been here for a while. Norman Essor, the Frenchman. He's decent. But this is a new guy. He spent a lot of money on him. Well happy. 21 years old. I think that's a brilliant deal. Now, some of these guys, the majority of these good young players he brings in, have all got minimum fees and they're not very big. So we'll have to wait and see. So right back, we've got Nathan Ferguson, the first of the Fergie boys. We also have this lad who we bought a while ago. Good young player. I quite like him. Defenders, he bought loads. We've got this big chap, 6'5", Michael Svobodka. Sure, I've had him on something else. Still got Connor Cody, who's ancient, but he's decent. His mentals are great. So we've kept him. Adrian Papetti. Looks alright, doesn't he? We've still got Jason Kerr. Not bad. We've got this lad who I do register. Don't forget to register him. Luke Mbete. I think he came from Everton. Another guy here. There's a big club in after him, but he chose us. Maybe we offer him more money. I don't know. We've still got Lee Masters knocking about. I'll be honest with you, don't know much he's going to play. On the left, we've got Rico Henry. Still here. And we've got a young lad. One of our own, to be fair. Diego Gamble. So obviously we've got the new boy, Dennis, who thinks solid. 30-year-old, loads of international experience. CP loves that. Dirk Diggler from Man City. He was at Sheffield Wednesday originally because he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. He's been rotting at City now for 5 years. He was up for sale for 4 million. And I think the deal that was done was 1.9 with add-ons. So I was buzzing with that. Great defender, great midfield, and it's time for him to start playing football at 24. We've still got Idris Lang, who I think is a good, solid little player at 21. Another Ferguson, Lewis, solid, 28 years old. Unflushable still here. Don't know how long he's going to be here though. I'm sure his dad's going to try and sort him out a deal. The third Fergie, Stewart. He's good, isn't he? Quite like him. And then he's bought loads of wingers. He got a bit giddy. So we've got Lewis Carbonell. Okay. Carlo Hulse, decent. Still got Harry Wilson, who's a good player, 30, the Welshman. Still got one of our own, Kieran, who I really like, Griffiths. Joe Mee, I have promoted because look at him. He was out on loan last year. We've still got the Mac Messi, he's injured at the start of the season, but got a little bit of Miles Gilbert. Schlinks is still in there, although I don't know if he's confident with him because I don't know if you noticed on the news section, right at the very end, he was trying to loan Delap. And it fell through at the last minute, so I nearly had 3 strikers. And when I saw that happening, I was like, I'll go for that. He's brilliant, isn't he? And then Jamie Balance. Now, Jamie, I think he started at Leeds. He went to Wolves, and again, similar to Dirk Diggler, he's been rotting away at Wolves. But he's cost quite a bit of money. I think 20 odd million. But he's not really had the chance to flourish and shine at 23. Can he still develop? Can he score his goals? That's the most important thing. So I have written the numbers down. Roughly in my head, I think he recouped 40 odd million and spent 90 odd million. So we've probably spent about 50 million. And this is the finances going in to the season. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely stronger, got more depth. If you're a Patreon player and you've left, nothing to do with me, blame Greeno. It was always going to happen because of where we started and where we're going. It's only a matter of time, I think, before the last couple go. But we're growing. But are we going to be any better? Well, we're now on the 1st of January. It's a brand new year, 2028 already. And kicked off our Carabao Cup campaign against Sunderland, beating them 4-1. Then we came up against United and got beat 3-1. But again, we're just not a club. A cup run would just push us too much, I think. I think it's all got to be about the league when you're at a level like this. And, you know, I don't purpose ever want to lose, but I don't mind going out early. Just concentrate on that Premier League. A Premier League that we're 16th in. I don't think that's that bad. Could have been worse. We could have been in the bottom 3. So at this moment in time, we are 16th, played 21. I've won 6, I've drawn 4, and I've lost 11. We've got 22 points. And you're going to see this in a minute. I think what you've got to be realistic with us as a club is all them big teams. Look at the Valley at the top of the league there. All them big teams. If you get beat off them, who cares? I've got to try and beat these teams or get points off the teams in and around me. And I think that's pretty much how it's gone down. So we started off against Liverpool and got battered. And I'll be honest with you, for quite a while, I was using about 5 different tactics. My 2, the one we were using in the last year, trying this away, trying this at home, trying to throw the game off, messing about too much. Now, I don't know if I would have got a better start to the season, but I decided eventually to just lock into that one we used at the end of the year, 3 at the back, and just plug it out. And I think that ended up working for me. But we beat Newcastle, which is great. Got beat off West Ham, got beat off the Valley, I drew with Wolves, we got beat off Arsenal, we got battered off Chelsea, beat off Spurs and beat off City. Now, if you look at that, the Newcastle game was great. Wolves, we got good results against in the past. But they were all big teams. Not expected to get anything from that. So, of course, we were down at the bottom. But it's the next group, really, or the majority of the next group, I needed to get something from. So we drew with Southampton, which wasn't bad. Balance getting us a goal. Beat Stoke, which is great. Got beat off Denton, but they're good. Drew with Sheffield United. Bit annoying. Beat Villa. Beat Fulham. Drew with Leeds. I was hoping we could win that. Beat Everton, which I think was great. United game, we took the lead. And then they came back. First half, I won't even say we matched them, we were better. And I praised them at half time. Second half, it could have been about 8-1. I'm not going to lie. Now, this game was brilliant. Although it caused some controversy. Because we got the winner from Lewis Ferguson in the 91st minute. And at home, the club mascot, as we all know, Lee the Buzzy Bee, got a bit excited. Decided to completely take off his entire outfit, apart from his antennas, which he had in his hand, and streak down the sideline. So he got a ban for a couple of games, which ain't great. You need your mascot. He's a big help to us. And now we've all seen Limo's Willie, which was brilliant. But then last 2 games, it's like the tough patch again. I've had Tottenham. You know, look at that. Annoying. And then Chelsea. So even though we're getting beat this time, we're not getting battered. Chelsea did not score 7 against me. That's progress, even though you get beat in it. So we're going to have a game today away at Southampton, who are 12th. We're 16th. Could be tough. I mean, we drew them at home. It's not on TV, but, you know, big game. So this is a squad arranged by average rating, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not really rotating unless I have to rotate, and I'm just trying my best to put out the best team I can, barring injuries, and we've got a couple of injuries at the minute. The goalkeeper is my best player. I mean, this kid is decent. He's 6'2". You know, I don't mind a bigger keeper, but it's a lot bigger than Craig was. I thought Craig was good though. I would not have sold Craig. He'd have easily been back up for a while. He's good, decent, even though he's tiny. So I was gutted he left, to be honest. Obviously, new defenders doing all right. Stuart Ferguson, great little player. The Fergie boys. Dennis, solid player. He was a freebie. Greeno got him for nothing, which is great. Gilbert's had a few moments. If we've got a goals, Jamie, I'll be honest with you, his average rating ain't saying anything great. He scored 7 goals and set up 4 in 23. I think he's really important. I think on the pitch sometimes he does a lot. He's like a hard worker, not an out-and-out goal scorer, but I don't blame him because he's been rotting. He's not been playing. So, you know, maybe this is, let him bed in, get used to it. I believe in him. I think he'll score goals as long as Greeno keeps him. Dirk Diggler, I'll be honest with you, he's down here for goals, obviously not average rating, but yeah, he's been great and all. Buzzing to have him. He's actually Rich Beck, the start of The Last Chance, and if you haven't seen The Last Chance, go and check it out. And if you haven't seen Adversity, go and check that out. And I've got a 3rd video coming out probably the end of next week. I'll be honest with you, it's got a lot of work left to do on that, called Redemption. So yeah, hopefully look forward to that as well. Now then, check this out. Again, I'm not in charge of staff, but if you don't ask, you don't get. So I did ask him to expand the coaching, expand the scouts, and expand the medical team. I think he said no on the medical team, but he said yes on the others. And he's brought guys in. I've got Yap Stam as a coach, which is great. And the scouting team's massive now. It's not the best, but it's massive. And I thought to myself, I've been going more to the meetings, because I've kind of not been doing that. But now I'm in the Premier League, I've been going to the meetings and saying, I want this, I want that. Don't like him, add him to my shortlist. And I thought, it's time for me to go just do a big scouting session, get full knowledge on a ton of players. But basically went through every single position. Players, I think, under 23 years old, And then I just, whatever I could see on the screen, I went, selected them, right click, scout to full knowledge. Goalkeeper, left back, blah, 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 blah. Every single position. So there's a ton of players here. I mean, I'm not in charge of it. I've boosted his scouting budget. We're on a world package as well. I'm trying to give Greeno as much of a, these are the kind of players I want. I did lose some team leaders in Dunster and Craig, but what I quite like about this is the 3 new team leaders are originals. Is it because they've been here the longest? Because they're not the best now in the squad, which again worries me to lose team leaders, because I do think they're going to want to go. Unflushable wants to leave, Masters and Schlinks, because they're not playing as much. They're getting the odd game, the odd bit of a substitute appearance, but I've just got better. It's tough, innit? It's hard when you've got people who support you in your team, and I did this with a Valley. You get to points where you like, but with a Valley I was in charge, and I hung on to some of them maybe longer than I should. With this I'm not, so it's just, we'll wait and see. Oh yeah, I asked for a warm weather training camp, and I got the option, and I think we're going out to the United Arab Emirates, which is where Mr. Peter lives. So we might actually, for the first time, see us play football. So then the team I've gone with, I quite like. I've got Diego Gamble playing left wing back. I don't think he's natural there, but he's learning. Same with, who's the other lad? Francis Adebayo. Now, Joe Page moans at me for playing him there, but I want the good young players and I want them to learn it. So we'll see what happens with that. Got a good young keeper. The back three is pretty decent. It's a decent team. I could do with Jamie Balance and the Mank Messi, Miles Gilbert, to put on a performance for me today. So here we go. And honestly, you just never know. Sometimes, like anything, when you're at a level like this, you can just pull out a performance out of your ass, completely unexpected. But what I've liked recently, don't let them freaking score straight away. I'm trying to talk here. Early Southampton pressure, not what I want, not what I like. Can we defend as a unit, get all them players back? There we go. But what I've liked is that we've kind of put up fights against bigger teams in the last few games, even though we have lost, and that's a positive sign that, I've stuck with this tactic now, and they're getting used to it, they're getting used to each other, and hopefully we can just keep on pushing again, go on another good run, pick up the points against the teams around us, and we can stay in this league. I feel like doing it this way, it's a challenge, it's fun. Hopefully you're enjoying it. But, we're kind of missing that glory, aren't we? The cup finals. I do love going to lots of cup finals, but we'll see. Ward-Prowse now still at Southampton. Come on, lads. We've not done enough. We've done nothing, I'll be honest with you. Southampton are coming out as it's Ward-Prowse again. Go on, Gamble, lad. And here we are. Hard time. 3 shots, 2 on target. Yeah. I mean, against any team, if I don't get beat away, I'm happy with that. I mean, would you be? You've got to be realistic, haven't you? So yeah, thank you to anyone who has watched The Last Chance and has watched Adversity. I've had a lot of fun putting them together, and I'm really having a lot of fun making Redemption, so hopefully you'll check that out as well. I know they're a bit silly and a bit daft sometimes, but it's a bit of fun. I think, once you get to the experiment part of the actual game, hopefully it adds a bit more depth to it. We'll see. And I can't believe we're nearly on 60 minutes and cockall's happened. It's still 0-0, right? And here they come. Again, it's like we're battening down the hatches, and we are actually playing with an attacking mentality. We're trying. We've got to try and nick a goal. Right, come on. Oh, come on, Jamie. I mean, like I said, Jamie Balance is good. Every single one of them Patreon players who decided not to be part of Manchester Central was given potential to be a wonder kid. But it proves to you that if a player doesn't play, don't matter how much potential they've got, they might not reach that potential. Because some of the lads have gone on to great things. Daryl Motion, the star of Adversity, he's just had another big move. He's left the Valley for mega bucks, gone to Chelsea. There's been loads of them are doing massive things. Big Papa, I think he's doing wonders. I think he's got a hat-trick against me, was it? I think when he was with Arsenal, oh my god. But then there's tons that haven't. People like Dirk Diggler, who's rotting. Obviously not worth 4 million, but it's coming towards the end of his contract. He won't play in. Greeno snapped him up, buzzing with that. I was always wondering, are we going to sign any of them? Because I'd be trying my hardest. Oh, it's come through! Dennis! Right, come on, here's Wilson. Did I tell you I've made a sub? I think I forgot because I'm chatting. But yeah, Carbonell's come on for the Mank Messi, who probably shouldn't have started, but he has. Right, come on! Here's Wilson now. Lofts it in. Jesus Christ. Right, I've made some changes. So Papetti, who's playing in the centre, can play out on the right. He's going out on the right. Adebayo's going over on the left because Campbell was having a shocker. You've got to give a kid a chance, though. And big Svoboda, 6'5" centre half. He's coming right in the centre. Give us some height in the middle. Hopefully don't balls it up for us. Because I'll be honest with you, there's been a couple of games as well where we've nearly got that point. Or nearly got the win. And I just feel like last few minutes we've ballsed it up. Give away a penalty. I think that was against Spurs. Evolving mindset. Go on, leader Buzzy B. There. What was I saying? Being on the brig guy. Don't mess it up for me. Don't do something silly. He's not happy though, is he? Pointing at him, checking for a penalty. This is what's annoying me. No penalty! No penalty! He was outside the box and we've defended it. Right, I've now made a change. Slinks Lincoln is on. Can he show Jamie Balance what it's all about to be a striker? I mean, Jamie's good, don't get me wrong. I was hoping I'd get more goals out of him. When I saw he'd signed a Patreon striker, I was like buzzing. Give him time, no patience. And it looks like we might get a point. A big point for us. I think it's a huge point. No goals. Yeah. But it's a big point. Probably should have lost it, really. So here we are. We're still in 16th. Now on 23 points. But some distance there, isn't there? Like, some distance for 11 points between us and Aston Villa. So that's a good little cushion to build on. I think there's going to be a lot of points dropped, though. But there's a lot of opportunities to pick up those points and push towards 40. We didn't need 40 last year. Well, we need 40 this year. It's a scrap. A good old scrap. Look at the Valley, though. Hope Tame Valley win the league. They played 4-4-2, Tame Valley. Look who they've got up top. What a strike force that is. Now, apparently, we're going to have another excellent intake, according to Brian Kane, my head of youth development. Although I saw this on Instagram. Looks like he's working his ass off out there somewhere, looking for players. But you know what? Whatever works for Brian, as long as he brings in a good youth intake, works for me. So we'll find that out in the next episode. Well, there we go. That is the end of episode 15. If I can get it together, I might get episode 16 out in a couple of days. Probably have episode 17 out in a couple of days. And hopefully, Redemption will come out mid to late next week before I go away for 4 days to a caravan. So there won't be nothing for a couple of days. So I'm going to try my best to get as many videos out over the next few days for you guys. But thank you as always for supporting this series. It's a lot of love goes into it. I know a lot of you guys love it. Even though we don't win fuck all and we get beat most of the time and we bang average and we have 0-0 live comms. Hey, we're in it together, aren't we? We're all Beast fans at heart. I'm not getting a B tattoo like Lee Mulder Buzzy B, but I do love this club. And I love you. Your view is the most important thing. So you have a great Easter. If I don't see you again over Easter, look after yourself and your family. I'll see you next time.